I think this is good enough.
Yeah. Now video you can on. Yes, 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 yes. Very good. Good
Yes, that's
afternoon.
perfect.
Good
That's perfect.
afternoon.
Yes. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to talk over here.
Thank you.
Yes.
So,
So let me know whenever we can start. I am good.
Yeah, we'll just wait for 2 minutes and then we'll start.
All right, madam. Thank you so much.
Yes.
চলছে meeting. Where are, sir?
I think we should start. What do you say,
Yeah.
Mitra sir?
Yeah, we should start now.
I know it's already 1:10. Yeravar sir, if you're there, please.
Yes, madam. Yes,
Please start.
Yes, please start.
Okay, so I'll start the session then. A very good afternoon to one and all present here. I, Shraddha Khonde, on behalf of IIC committee, would like to welcome you all for a webinar on My Story, Motivational Session by Successful Entrepreneur under IIC MESCO. A warm welcome to our principal, Dr. S.S. Saravde, our expert speaker for today's session, Mr. Sachin Murugunde, Dr. N.F. Sheikh, President IIC MESCO, Dr. M.P. Dae, Vice President IIC MESCO, Dr. A.C. Mitra, Convener IIC MESCO, Dr. R.N. Eravar, Internship Coordinator IIC MESCO, HODs from all the department, and all the teaching and non-teaching staff of MESCO. At last, I would like to welcome all participants and student coordinators of this webinar. Ministry of Human Resource Development, MHRD, Government of India has established an innovation cell to systematically foster the culture of innovation among all higher educational institutes. The primary mandate of this is to encourage and inspire and nurture young students by supporting them to work with new ideas and transform them into prototype. MESCO also took part into the initiative started by Government of India and formed an institute innovation cell called ISC MESCO to inculcate research and growing culture into MESCO. Today's webinar is arranged under the umbrella of IIC MESCO to get insights from Mr. Sachin Murugunde about his journey as an entrepreneur. I am glad to introduce Mr. Sachin as an alumni of Department of Computer Engineering, MESCO of 2004 batch. He is a founder and managing director of Technex Harvest Grid Private Limited, started in 2009. It's a proud for me to announce that Technex Technologies was awarded with Indian Leadership Award for Industrial Development by All Indian Achievers Foundation in 2012. While achieving heights in his career, Mr. Sachin is also connected with various NGOs as a part of his social responsibility and actively working with them. It's our privilege to have such a dynamic and enthusiastic personality among us for this webinar. With this, I would like to request Mr. Sachin to start with the session. Just a small announcement before I hand over the session to Sachin sir, that participants, if you have any queries regarding the talk, Sachin sir is going to discuss with you. Just raise your hands if you are connected with MS Teams, and if you are from YouTube, you are connected from YouTube Live. Just paste your questions or queries into the WhatsApp group. We will read it out for you, and will ask sir to answer your queries in the session. Okay, thank you so much. Sachin sir, I would like to request you to start with the session.
All right. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes sir, we can
Yes,
able to, we
yes,
are able
yes,
to,
sir.
yeah.
Thank you so much for, first of all, thanks for inviting me on this session. It is really a privilege, and it has always been a privilege to come back where I have started my journey. I thank Sheikh Madam for letting me be connected with my college, to all my teachers, to my principal, to all the doctors that I see on this group. Thank you so much. So, we'll spread out this entire conversation in four segments, like what my foundation was, what my beginning was, and then how I grew from what I was, where I was, and how I found my stability, and in it, what is it that my passion was, and how I remained connected with my passion, and how it helped me in connecting with individuals while I was growing. So, first of all, I'll start with my journey all the way from my school days. So yes, I do come from a very humble background, from a very small school of a batch of 40 students based out in Vishrantwadi. It's very near from Viman Nagar, probably around 3-4 kilometers from there. So that's where I completed my 10th, and then I spent good years in my college all the way from 11th to my engineering. So it was all in Wadia campus that I completed my science and then my engineering as well. Now, to give you why I started with this particular topic is to give you a brief that I have always been blessed with good friends, good surroundings, and they have always inspired me and motivated me in learning from them. So I'll give you a scenario, a situation which I was into. So not a bright student in the class, probably uh, during the initial days, seventh, eighth, probably the last benchers of the school. But then I saw this kid who was the topper of my school, and he used to ask right questions to the teachers. He used to be always prepared for the classes. And then one day I was at his home for studies, and that's when I realized that this guy used to read the chapter before teacher used to teach them. And it has nothing to do with by hearting, nothing to do with understanding, nothing to do with understanding all the concept. It was just growing through it. That's all. Like having a glance of whatever I'm going to be up for. It has nothing to do with reading, or it has nothing to do with uh, um, impressing the teacher. I know everything you're going to teach. It was nothing about that. It was all that what I was going to get from this session, and how I can understand maximum out of it. So he used to always be prepared from the school lectures point of view, and that helped me in understanding like how to do studies. Even in college days, I'll tell you a very good story. So there was this guy, maybe many of my teachers know him. His name was Darshan, and he used to have an amazing paper writing skill. he used to always be a first class student. And one day we checked, like we used to have a discussion, uh, like, boy, we never find you studying in the room and still you are on the list of first class. So what is it that you do? So over there, he told me, uh, or us, I would put up, like, we used to be a lot of friends in college. So he told us that for first 1 hour of the exam, he draws diagram for any damn thing. So all the questions that he's supposed to attempt, he used to draw diagram. So within first 1 hour, he used to have 3, 4 supplements in his answer sheets, and all the pages were blank with just a diagram. And then remaining 2 hours were just about writing and explaining the diagram. That's all. And then the teacher who used to check the paper, she might not go through the entire answers, but the highlighted points, which were highlighted as point number one. So the diagram itself used to have 1, 2, 3, 4 marked in it, and those points were then explained in details. So that was the trick through which he used to score. But then he also tried and adapted to it. So this is the foundation which helped me in growing from my education life to my personal life. Now, you all might be in third year or you have completed your graduation, so I don't know how relevant it would be. But trust me, your friends teach you a lot. And there are no good friends and bad friends, to be honest. There is always delusion. I'll consciously use the word delusion, saying that he is not a good boy or he is not. He is a very brilliant student. You should be connected. So this is a very elderly that happens. Like, this is a, a very focused individual. You should be connected with him. It is all about energy, and whatever your energy is, you will always find people of similar energies connecting with you. So this establishment happens very strong. So this bonding happens very strong during your college days, during your school days, and that's the reason many says that the friends that you connect with in your school days are bound to stay for a longer time, because the innocence is there. The connection happens not on a superficial level, so you don't pretend to be someone else, and the connection is in the form of energy. Like, uh, there you will find always the students, like my friends group in my college always gets connected with my friends group of the school, because they we say, like, they are of the same frequency, like our frequency matches. So that's what this is about. That's what my belief is. And this was the foundation that helped me in exploring my other sides, like getting into it, reading books about the subjects that I am going to appear for before someone teaches me, or understanding the concepts in a better way, or how do I present myself when I am writing a paper or I am making a presentation. So these are few things that I uh, learned from my friends during my college days, during my school days. Then my beginning started. So I passed out from my college, and then I joined a small firm. Now these are a couple of scenarios that I wanted to share with you all. My growth, or this was not my beginning. So my beginning was in 2004 when I got my first job. It was in Microsoft technology, and that was a very small startup, not a startup, but a small company, probably 15, 20 individuals. And the culture over there was a little bit different. Now, many says disciplined culture helps an individual to grow, but there are many companies which says we don't care about discipline. All we care about is productivity. Now, if that is the scenario, you take your time, you decide your own schedule, but deliver us what is needed. Be in your comfort, and then take a call and deliver what is needed. So these are the two different scenarios, and I'll put up with an example. For me as an individual, since I do a lot of things, I have a tendency of not being on time all the ways. I try to be, and that is something which is a negative point on me. I mark it as negative for myself. and which I look up to improve. Now, all what I'm saying is, in my first job, there was no internet connection. There was no outside help that was available. 9 o'clock you are in, 9:15 you in, and you get a half day. Now, in this kind of environment, it was counterproductive for me. So I couldn't excel myself. eh, I couldn't show what I could deliver. So I had to leave that company, and then I joined another company, which was a startup. So probably I would say I was the first employee over there. But then that gave me a flexibility of working in my own comfort zone, but delivering anything and everything that is needed. I did my job over there for 5 good years in C++. Now, here is something that I wanted to share you all. Your college, your friends, or your colleagues might not help you with everything. Over here, you will need to take charge of the scenarios rather than working uh, on a project. You should be work towards solving a problem. Now, solving a problem might not be a real life problem that you're trying to solve, like mm, someone needs to transfer the money, and Google Pay comes up, and then it solves a problem. That is a big problem that is solved. Now that has become a default norm of payment for small vendors, right? Many payment transactions happens over there. So that is a big problem that is solved. But for us to begin, that might not be a problem. That is an innovation that happens over the period of time. But for us, when we start our job, the problems are on a smaller scale. To give you an example, linked list. You all have studied single linked list and double linked list, right? How the linked list works is you attach a different node, end node. You go and traverse the end node, and you attach the another node over there. And then again you traverse all the way and attach the end node, right? This is how you do it in a normal conventional program. Now understand, let's say if I give you electronic document, EDI, electronic information document, something like that, if I give you, which is in an XML format, which has got around 5 lakh records, during the initial 10,000 record, the traversing would be in an optimum way. You won't be able to see it. But as soon as it goes to 10 lakh, 50 lakhs, 100 lakhs, over there, it has to traverse all the nodes and then add the last node. So this way, what happens is your performance is impacted heavily. So your electronic data parsing would turn into a 15-20 minute job. If you save the last pointer in some variable and then directly give that as a last pointer to your last node, your job becomes easy, and this entire 20 minutes could be converted into 20 seconds. This is about solving a problem. When I say work towards solving a problem, this is what I mean by take small step, improve the performance, always work towards saving the data. Even though you have now terabytes of data, even though you have GBs of RAM in your softwares, in your hardware, which could be accessed by software at any point in time, always make sure that you don't spoil the memory, use it very optimally, work towards performance, even though it is for a very small 15-line function. That's fine, because small function eventually build the entire tool. And trust me, rectifying these mistakes, everything is done, costs you almost double. Now, when I say double, I'll tell you it impacts your costing. You have taken a project at, let's say, you're a freelancer, you have taken a project at $2,000. You have coded haphazardly. You have done some mistakes which you feel like you'll be able to rectify it once I get a stable result. Now you get a stable result. Now it is impacting your performance. That's when you go ahead and start rectifying all your mistakes. You had estimated this for 200 hours, but because of not following right practices from day one, after 200 hours, sorry, after 200 hours, you have figured out that I have to spend more 100 hours on correcting these mistakes. What is something which should cost you only $100 and only $1,000 and give you a profit of $1,000. Now it has costed you $2,000 with a profit of $0. So this creates the problem of not being disciplined in your programming. You can be flexible with your own schedule, but when it comes to delivering things, it is highly recommended that you make sure that you have a disciplined programming structure. And this helped me in growing in my second job. Solving problems had helped me excel and moved to a position where I was controlling under around 140 resources at an experience of 5 years, total experience of 5 years. And trust me, these were not startups, or these were not freshers. These were individuals who were very experienced. Uh, During those days, Nokia used to run forum champions. Forum champions means individuals who used to solve maximum problems of people worldwide. So they used to select people from each country, and then they used to award them as champions. And my team had 5 forum champions from Nokia. So that was the kind of team that I used to run with. After that, in 2009, uh, I thought of doing something which was not appreciated, and I had to start something. And this was the phase, this is where I mark as the phase of my growth. This is when the struggle started, this is when the growth started, and this is when me as an individual molded to what I am. So we started in 2009. I was jobless. I had to leave the job, or I was let gone at that time, and I didn't had a job. So I had two options. I had to switch to a new company which was in Mumbai, and they had given me almost 100% raise at that time. So I had a good opportunity of making double the money, but I had to move to Mumbai. And at the same time, I had the opportunity to fulfill the dream for which I was thrown out. I started off with a very small, conservative kind of a job with an approach which was totally different. As I've said, this phase I mark as my growth phase, and these memories are very dear to me. So I started off my career as a trainer to engineering students. So after leaving the job, I used to give seminars to many students on how to write their project reports, how to write the code for their B projects, and how to complete your project in time with external guidance and with your own efforts. That year, I trained almost 200 aspiring engineers and helped them complete their project. While I was doing this, I rented out 2 chairs from the same institute where I used to teach. And that's where my journey started. So people got connected, and trust me, I come from a very humble background, first time entrepreneur, so no background of business whatsoever. Didn't have the finances, moved from a salary of around lakh of rupees to start earning somewhere around 10,000 rupees from the training job. But it gave me the satisfaction because it had a goal, it had a vision of making a company. I didn't had any vision that I would be competing with someone or anything else, but I had a vision that I'll make up a company that will be recognized. That's all. So we started off with training, we raised the fund, and we had 2 employees at that time who used to work with me in the same institution where I had rented out this. So morning 7 o'clock training used to start, 5 o'clock training used to finish. I used to go to CDAC as a trainer. 10 o'clock I used to reach home. I used to have my food. 10:30 night I used to go to gym. 11 o'clock 11:30 I used to come back. From 11:30 till 2:30, again I used to work, again waking up at 6 o'clock. This was the routine for next 3 years. And that was the stepping stone for me in achieving everything that I have achieved till now. And trust me, I haven't done great things in this. I haven't solved big problems in this. All I have done is changed life of myself and life of people who have been associated with me. So this is the phase where I grew, and I did multiple things. I did lot of activities around it while I was running my company. A lot of ups and downs came while doing this. I'll definitely share a couple of tips that I had gone through. So first one, I'll always say, unless you have a very clear vision of repaying the payments, be it for investors, be it for banks, or be it for your friends, don't borrow the money. It costs you very heavily. So in an organization, when your organization is 3 years old, bank comes to you with credit facility, with term loans, with business loans, and whatnot, and all of those fancy words. I always use that. So try and avoid using those if you are running an organization. Second, go and take formal education of finance. If you are willing to do, or if you wish to do, run your own business, I always recommend individuals in understanding what the finance is, how to read the balance sheet. So there are four different sections: profits and losses, everyone knows; assets and liabilities, which not many know. They cannot differentiate what is an asset and what is a liability, and how an asset gets converted into a liability. Before uh, starting a business, I always recommend everyone to read one book. I don't know, but since background was different, but I always uh, recommend to read this one book called Rich Dad and Poor Dad. So you will find a very good theory of why one should get into a business. Okay. So what I've said is, don't go into debt trap of banks, uh, investments, be it angel investments or anything. So there is a new trend that is happening is you go ahead, make a proof of concept, go for an investment round, and then grow your business. That is something that will happen, but it is something that should not be a goal. First is, you should have a proof of concept and a product by your own effort and your own money. You should not borrow it. Second, yes, you need investments, but that investment has to go in sales, not in developing a product. Because no matter how good the product is, if you cannot sell it, you won't be successful. Second, invest in training yourself in finance. Third, invest yourself and train yourself for sales. We engineers always look towards solving a problem. We never look from a buyer's perspective. And this is something that I have learned very hard way. And I always recommend my friends and my colleagues and my individuals who wish to have an advice from me to set up their own sales team, starting with themselves. Understand how sales is done. Understand how the funnels are managed. Understand how do you take your product from one level to another. You always can find developers who will develop for you, but you cannot find a salesperson who can sell for you effectively. And the best salesman is the owner. You always will need to learn how to sell. So I learned from my journey, and in this entire journey, from the organization point of view, I had always kept one thing very clear, that I will try and change life of one individual. Okay, so whoever was the office boy in my organization is now a good developer, a designer, a data engineer, a calling agent, a sales guy, or something else, which is better than what his profile previously was. So always look forward to give back to society. Okay, so this this is where I am. This is what my story is. Now, in this entire journey of last 10 years of entrepreneurship, I was always blessed with connecting with right individuals at right time. And in this entire journey, I followed my passion. I used to work. I used to be into fitness industry. So I had always been uh, into physical fitness, into gyms, into trainings. I had undergone a lot of injuries. So then I learned yoga. And in last 3 years, I have helped at least 150 individuals in regaining energy, in doing things that they love to do. So I am a certified yoga trainer. I am a certified dietitian. I help individuals reverse their diabetes. That's my another company. I got into investment advisor. So I run a company called Smart Wealth Advisor, which is about. So I am a broker where I help individuals earn money as well. So health being my passion, I've started this company which is Be Diabetes Free, which helps individuals reverse their diabetes in 6 to 8 months time with yoga, with medicine. So I have designed my own medicine with the help of doctors. So I have my own proprietary medicine called Sucro. Uh, and Technex is, of course, the company which has helped me to achieve all of these things. So, to give you a gist, in this entire thing, my friends has always been the motivational factors. My family has been very supportive. So, this is one topic that I wish to touch. You all are at an age where you would be getting married, you would want to reach, you have your goals that you wanted to build your house, you want to have a car, and there is always a comparison, there is always a peer pressure that my friend is earning so and so, I am not earning, I have to do something, I have to switch the job, I have to move to another place. And in doing that, subconsciously there is a pressure from parents, from society, from our relatives that, hey, see, your friend is earning so much, what are you doing? Can you look out for a better job? Or this subconscious trigger of uh, switching the job or running towards earning more is very harmful, and this triggers a lot of instability in your professional as well as personal life. So when you grow, please have a very candid discussion. If you're going to run a company, it is going to take a lot of efforts, lot of energy of yours, which you cannot like take out from the union. You'll have to sacrifice it from your family time. You'll have to sacrifice from your friends' time. So you need a very supporting family, you need a very supporting life partner who won't take your life out saying you're not giving us enough time. But if you're going to run your own business, trust me, you need a very supporting family, and you also need very supporting friends, because when you are going to start your business, first 3 to 5 years, you will need a lot of time, which you will not be able to give to your friends also. But then once in a while, when you go with them, when you hang out with them, it refreshes you, it boosts you coming back to office, running for things which you love. So in nutshell, if I have to put out, I'll put out in priority. First, you need to find things that you love, not from professional point of view, but from personal point of view. Because if you keep on doing, like few individuals like swimming, if you like doing cycling, if you like going to workouts, if you like, so I'm talking practically from physical point of view. Pick up a hobby which will keep you engaged physically, be it badminton, be it basketball, volleyball, anything. Engage in some physical activity and keep it doing till the age of 45, 50, 55, and don't be tired about it. And that's where I'm saying pick up a hobby which will be your passion, because if you're passionate about it, you won't let it go. Second, make sure that you have a supporting family in helping you reach what you aspire to be. Give them many times. So I'll give you an example. There was this very bright chap. We two started companies at the same time. I was earning 10,000 rupees. Even he was earning 10,000 rupees. I kept on earning 10,000 rupees for 3 years probably. But then this guy used to earn around 2 lakh rupees when he started this company. And after 1 year, they calculated that we have lost around 20 lakh rupees. If had you been into payments, into salaries, we would have earned 24 lakh rupees. Without salary, we have earned just 2 lakh rupees. This is not working. Let's leave. 5 years down the line, he's still doing the job, which is probably has increased from 2 lakh rupees to 4 lakh rupees. My income has increased from 10,000 rupees to probably 5 lakh rupees. This is the difference. It is not multiplication. 2 into 2 is not 4. It is logarithmic calculation. It grows exponentially. Probably right now it is just 10,000 rupees, one right project, one right presence, one right connection, and you never know where you would go. So please create an awareness, spread the awareness that this is not arithmetic calculation. This is logarithmic calculation. It is exponential. It is not linear. Okay. So this is the awareness that you as a business aspire has to create in your relatives, in your parents, in your spouse, in your friends, that this is what is going to happen. Third, train yourself. Train yourself from the finance perspective. Train yourself from the implementation perspective. Train yourself, most importantly, from the sales perspective. Understand how you sell. And how you sell is the first point comes is, can you sell yourself? And these all traits might not be visible during your educational days. You have to make sure that these all traits might grow, might be visible once you are exposed to it. As a parent, you will when you grow, when you will have kids, there would be many who will say, like, why don't you put up your kid for cricket, for tennis, or for football? And then the answer is, how do I know if he likes or not? The answer for this question is, like, how do I know if he likes or not, is you have to give him the exposure. You expose him to swimming. If he likes it, if he loves it, he will build up the love for it. He will build the passion for it. That kid will build the passion for it. Similarly, you will have to expose yourself to all of these activities, be it balance sheets, be it sales, and then understand if this is working out for you. If it is not, then change. Don't wait for long. Pick up something which will work for you, and then identify someone who can do this for you, right? And during this entire journey, be it sales, be it education, be it your college, be it your beginning job, be it your company, or be it your stable position where I am right now at the age of 40, uh, please follow your passion. Work what you love. All right. That's all. That's my journey. And I am really blessed with friends, with my teachers, with everything that is around me. And if I have to look back all these 40 years, I would not want to change even a single day, be it my college days, be it the scolding that I had from my teachers, be it the submission days, or be it a fight with my friend, or the failure in my school days, or in my college days, or during my engineering, or during my professional life. I would not want to change even the single day. And this is happiness for me. Thank you so much. This is all what I can say about starting a company, starting a career, starting a business. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to open up in front of you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Sachin sir. It's really very good to hear about your journey, and we are glad that you are a part of a computer department and MESCO. And though we are not there in your days, but we can hear lots of stories about you from all the members of the from faculty of the department. Thank you very much for your valuable guidance and suggestions. What you have put in front of each and every one over here, and I wish that everyone will start thinking about the new thing to start with and the journey what they need to follow in their career. And it will be actually it will be helpful, and it's very nice to hear you. Okay, so we are open up to the question answer session now. If participants want to ask any question to Sachin sir, can just raise the hands if you are connected through Teams, or if you are connected through YouTube Live. I'll request you to post your questions into the chat, into the WhatsApp group, so that we can take it further. Yeah, we have the first question from Piyush Nindne. Um, just a second, Piyush.
Piyush, you can unmute yourself and
Yeah.
ask the question.
Yes. Yes.
Hello.
Yes.
Yes, sure, ma'am. Hi,
Yes,
sir.
Piyush.
Yes, hello, sir. My question was actually very cliche kind of thing. So, with context to the web development which Technex is doing, and you are the managing director of Technex. So, there is a similar kind of initiative which I have taken along with my four friends. So, we have taken an initiative of setting up a startup, which is, we are responsible for making like applications and everything related to web technology. So my
Okay.
it's the really cliche question which I would like to ask you with respect to your Technics company. So in the evolution wherein we are having platforms like WordPress, Wix, Shopify, and all of these platforms, how do you actually retain a client to go for a native development, and how do you prove that you are different from what is available in the market and from what freelancers are providing you, and why should they be choosing you as a company for the development of their website or maybe application? So I mean, I'm not able to frame it correctly, but this is
I
something
understood.
relevant I want to. All
Yeah.
right, sir. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So let me explain you. And honestly, your question is very relevant. How do I differentiate myself from freelancers who are equally good, who are there working for big companies, who know all the coding standards, who can code well, who can deliver things? Now, to differentiate, your first question: how do you convince a customer, or how do you tell a customer to work on a native platform than a cross-platform, like a web developer or a web the HTML5 based cross platform? Angular, I guess you are talking about Angular or React, something like that.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. Yes.
So, so there is a clear cut differentiator. So I started my journey when iPhone didn't had the SDK. Okay. This was 1G phone, which used to have the
झालंच नाही
curved
चहा?
background. Okay. So this didn't had any SDK into it, and we used to develop the games on iPhones using HTML in those days. That is 2008, 7 and 8. And then slowly iPhone released the SDK, and then came up this cross-platform SDK like PhoneGaps and others. Now, if you see the journey of all these cross-platform SDKs and the native applications, you will find that a stable application is in the market for more than 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, 8 years. Okay, wherein see the platform journey. PhoneGap started, within 3 years it was closed. or it is not so much of an attractive option for many developers. So now you don't find the developers. Imagine a customer who has developed his product on PhoneGap and now he wants to upgrade it and he does not find the developer. Isn't it painful? That is the first thing, that you don't find right individuals to implement, because the SDKs keep on changing on a very frequent basis. This technology is very new and it keeps on changing so that it gets adapted to the recent SDKs or recent norms implemented by iOS or Android. Second part of switching to native, since native SDKs are designed by the company itself, like Apple has designed iPhone SDK. So they know how to use the SDKs or libraries in a very optimum way. So the performance will always be very high as compared to cross-platform libraries, because then you're taking all the inputs from your SDK, you're passing that to the native SDK. So there will always be a communication gap. There will always be a layer of parsing that needs to be done by the SDK and by the native cross-platform SDK. So these are the two major differences for an individual to choose between native and a cross-platform application. Second, how do you work on web technologies? How do you help or your question was, how do you select between what was the last part related to that you have asked? Piyush, you will need to unmute yourself, I guess.
I think he is not able to. I don't know. We have Piyush and he can unmute himself, but I don't know why.
Let's go ahead with the next question.
Yeah, okay, okay. So we have next question, sir. The next question is from Mauli Gandhi. So Mauli, you just unmute yourself and you can ask the question.
Yes, ma'am. I want to ask that during starting something new, we might not always find support, and not all the days are good. So, how did you tackle that part of your journey?
So that is where I call the foundation. So um, I was very blessed with friends. I told you about this guy who was topper in my school. So he was also a topper from his engineering college in Magar College, I believe he was. We started off our journey together. And for the support perspective, trust me, no one knows everything. All you need to learn is yourself. And to do that, you are the best mentor for yourself. But to take the guidance, you always need friends, and your friends will have their network, their uncles, their father's friend who might be knowing things. So they will introduce you to others, and this has happened practically with me. So one of my college friend from engineering itself, his name is Saumitra. Saumitra introduced me to one of his known relatives, which were a very distant relative, and he helped me as a mentor in understanding the structure of the organization and things like that. Then this guy connected me to someone who was a much bigger investment advisor. He helped me, and he's still connected with me. You need to explore your network for sure when you start your business, when you start your approach. Second advice is, please go on a job for at least 2 years. Understand how things work. If you wish to run your own company, don't join a MNC. That is not going to help you anyways. If you wish to retire a software engineer on a job, you can join a MNC. You can join a big company. But if you want to learn things, you will have to join a startup. Go ahead and join a startup. Don't think about salaries. Don't think about the payment. Go over there to learn not the technology, but to learn how to code, how to understand very well. They don't have any processes set. They don't have documentation in place. They don't have templates in place. But trust me, you don't need all of them, because when you are starting, you will be starting in the same situation. Overburdening yourself with documentations, with processes, with compliances will exhaust you and not let you focus in implementing what you wish to. So explore the network. And that's what I was saying. Please remain connected with your friends, connected with your passion, because when you are connected with passion, that also increases your network. You remaining connected with your friend, that also increases your network, because your friends might go ahead and do something else. They will have their own friends connection. Other friends will have their own connection. My trust me, my entire network is my friends from school, from my 11th, 12th days, from my engineering days, from my first job days. These are all the connections which helped me in being where I am. I was not knowing iPhone, but then I had my friends from my job who were amazing in iPhone. They trained my initial resources. They used to come from the job, sit with me from 9 o'clock in the night till 11:30, train my students, and then go in the night at 11:30 home back. So this is how you can bridge the gap.
Okay, we have the next question from Yash Soni. So, Yash, just unmute yourself and go ahead with your question.
Thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Yash.
So, sir, actually, my question was very basic exactly. If we're trying to start a project by ourselves, like it is solely our idea, if you want to work on it, we know it will work good enough. But
Uh-huh.
for the initial time, when we are trying to create the prototype or the model of it, we need some basic capital funding for it. So, and
Uh-huh.
if we are not able to find relative sources, like if our project is something related to, if it's related to mechanical engineering, if we are not able to find relative sources which are only related to mechanical engineer or mechanical stuff, so how should we
Uh-huh.
approach other people for funding?
So first, Yash, as I've said during the initial part of the presentation, try and fund the prototype by your own money. I understand it might be high, it might be big, but you will have to find the trick to earn the money. And then there are many, many, many options to earn money in market. Trust me. I have found different ways. Like I do diabetes reversal programs. I do, and I have not poured in money from this division to another one, and then from another one to the third one. I have started investment advisory. Over there, also, I have a good staff. And this staff is totally from a different segment. These are data entry guys. These are probably commerce graduates. These are probably arts graduate. So you don't need big education to earn money. Trust me, you will find at least 15, 20 jobs which will give you part-time income opportunities to help raise funds. Instead of investing time in finding the investors and going after the money, work towards raising your own capital. That works the best always, and that has been the case with me. Working towards capital investor has not been fruitful. It takes a lot of time, but even in that case, they ask for prototype, they ask for revenue, they ask for working model, they ask for business model and everything. So asking money you will get only from two sources: one from your known network, which could be your parents, which could be your siblings, or your uh, friends. Now if you don't have this network, the only alternative that you are left with is raising your own capital through your own efforts. Now to do that, you can either take up a job, a part-time consulting job. By the way, the opportunities are tremendous even in this segment. Or if you cannot find opportunities in your stream, find a part time opportunity in something else. raise the capital, invest that capital in your dream and take it up.
Yeah, okay.
That's
We
all
have
from
the
my
Thank you so much.
experience. That's all I can say.
yeah, okay. So the next
Okay, sir.
question is
Thank you so
from
much.
Yeah. So next question is from Tanmay Jagtap. Tanmay, just unmute yourself and you can go ahead with the question.
Okay. Hello, sir.
Yes, Tanmay.
Sir, my question was like, how can we build knowledge about finance? Like you mentioned a book, right? Rich Dad and Poor Dad. So I have gone through that book, but if we want to explore more about finance, right? So any material or
So
such.
there is a book called How to Read Your Balance Sheet.
Okay.
Go ahead and buy that. Second, if you have any CA friend or anyone, you should go ahead and download a sample balance sheet and try and read that balance sheet. Now, why I'm saying is finance, I'll tell you a scenario and I'll tell you a case study with it. Uh, this is related to the finance management that I'm talking about. And this is about discipline, not about reading books. So, when you invoice a client, you raise it with a tax. Previously, there used to be a service tax, now there is a GST. So you add 18% to the invoice amount. Let's say I have raised, my billing amount is 1 lakh rupees. I'll have to raise 1 lakh 18,000 rupees. He gives me the money, that 18,000 also comes to my account. I have to deposit that money on behalf of Tanmay to government. So I have raised an invoice to Tanmay. Tanmay has given me my money along with that 18,000 rupees. I have to deposit this 18,000 on behalf of Tanmay. Okay. Now I have some other priority to take care of. I have some important work to take care of. As a human nature, I don't deposit this money in Tanmay's account. I use it for my priority. I say that as soon as I get my other money, I'll repay this to the government and I'll settle this amount. Now, unfortunately, the next time never comes. This 18,000 rupees keeps on piling, and I am not able to repay it. That is the complication. That is the financial discipline that I am talking about. Don't get into loan debt traps. This is the financial discipline that I'm talking about. So, loan debt traps, what I'm saying is, if you have an asset worth 50 lakh rupees, take a loan of 25 lakh rupees around it. Many individuals, what they do is they take a loan of 25 lakh rupees first, which I have done, by the way. And I have learned this the hardest way. And then you top it up because bank keeps on telling you that we can fund till 80% of your property value. Okay, in good days, you are able to repay everything, but in bad days, you will not be able to. And you will eventually have to wash off all your assets, which are highly paying assets, and end up having nothing in your hand. So this is the discipline that I am talking about, and that's the reason I was recommending read Rich Dad and Poor Dad. Instead of building a house, work towards setting up a foundation. Invest your money in something which will give you money back, not give you an asset. Like investing money in, if you are buying a house in which you are going to stay, you're not going to sell. That is a liability. That is not an asset. Because even if the value becomes 50 crore, that money is of no use. That valuation is of no use because you're never going to sell that house. So that becomes a liability, right? So
Yes, sir.
invest into, so take this financial decision with a advice. That's all I am saying. That is the financial learning that I am recommending. This could be learned probably from a CA friend of yours. This could be learned by reading commerce books, or this could be learned by other commercial books on finance.
Okay, sir. Sir, one more question I had actually. Like if I'm starting something, right, and it is a what we can say service-based company, like we are providing websites or something like that, and initially we want to attract clients, right? So shall we go for freelancing platforms or anything other you would suggest?
So, Tanmay, this is part of the sales strategy you can do. So, there are multiple ways you can sell yourself. And as I've said, it is not just about selling on the freelancing platform. You can sell it through email campaigns, you can sell it through SEO, digital marketing, you can sell it through cold calling. There are multiple ways through which you can reach out. Uh, some things work for someone, some things don't work others for others. So this is something that you will need to explore, right? So I cannot answer this in a very assured way that it works 100%ly. For a couple of my friends it has worked, because then they have given dedicated 8 hours a day, responding within 30 minutes, and following up with the client, and they have been successful in taking this up. There are other who have not found this approach to be very productive.
Okay, sir.
Okay, the
Thank you.
next question, the next question we have from Deepak Mokashi. So Deepak, just unmute yourself and you can go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. So, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Deepak.
Yes, sir. So, the session was very informative. We got the very much information. So, my question was, as you said that you took your first job and after that you started your business. So, my question that, so I think leaving the job and starting the business is the I think a big fact, and we have to consider many factor that time. So you, how you handle that situation, that convincing your parents and all the factor like money?
So as I have told you, this if you have to do business, you will have to give away the money part of it to start with. Okay. And the other factor, as I have told you, it is to do with convincing your parents. So now, as an individual, every individual is a different individual. Every individual has a different thought process and a different frequency at which he gets convinced. So you as a person will need to create an awareness. Okay, so there is a book of Rashmi Bansal, okay, in which I don't remember the book's name, but then she talks about all the successful entrepreneurs in India, big time, like Naukri. There is a case study of Naukri. There are case studies of different banks, Bharat Matrimony, and all of it. So these kind of case studies will help you explore and understand how these guys started. They all started with is they don't want to do job. You go to IIM, you go to ISB. What they train you is not to do management. They train you to take the risk. It is high risk, high reward game, right? Job is the most secure place. There is no risk. All you have to do is deliver, work hard. There is no risk. Now the question you are asking is, how do I take care of my money part? It is risky. You cannot take care of all the possible combinations. That is the risk that you have to take. The higher the risk you take, the more the reward you will get. So you have to take up this challenge as a challenge, roll up your sleeves, and convince your parents or your spouse or your partners that, hey, I am going to do this no matter what. I am going to be successful. Find the right path, keep on optimizing, and trust me, people get connected to you. You don't need to come from a business background. You don't need everything in place to cook the right recipe. All you have to do is be flexible in improvising as you progress. When you fail in one thing, start or adapt to a new change. Don't stop, adapt to a new change. Something will work for sure.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, so to announce to go further with the answer what you said, we got a single question from YouTube live from Ingray sir. They are asking that how to get funding for startups.
So funding for startup is very tricky. I have never got into this route, But whatever I did in one of my ventures for funding, for startup, you will need to have a prototype. You will need to have a working business model, and you will also need to have clients. Once you have this recipe in place, then investment will come. So investment comes on two things, trust me. One is the individual. Like, I go ahead and I stand and I talk. If I'm not convincing enough, and even if my product is good, no one will invest in me. If I'm convincing, and even if the product is not good, others will invest into me. So, as I've said, you need to first polish yourself, get yourself trained in sales. If you have to get an investment, first you have to sell yourself. Like, this is me, Sachin Murgunde, standing in front of you, asking for money from your pocket. Am I convincing enough? Yes, give me the money. Then they will invest in your project no matter what it is. But so first thing to evaluate comes is, am I sold? Has Sachin Murgunde been sold to an investor? That is first milestone. Second milestone is, has my idea been sold? Has my idea been bought by the investor? Okay. Third, does the idea has the right business model? If that doesn't, if it does not have the right business model, the investor might come and say that we have to change the business model. We have to change the engagement model. But then if these two factors are in place, the third factor comes in. Do you have clients? Is your product in place? Is your product good? All of these parameters will come, and then you'll get the funding. But the primary part of it is, am I sellable? Is he going to buy me as an individual? Once he buy me as an individual, then he will buy my idea, and then everything starts rolling.
Okay, we have another question from Piyush. So, Piyush, can you just unmute and ask the question?
Sure. Sir, pardon. Actually, I lost my network last time I had asked a question. So, with the reference to the question which you just answered, if I started with a technology web development company, and if I want to get into a product based firm, so like you just said ki, sir, for instance, if I have to give you an example of Ritesh Agar, the CEO of Oyo, so he had actually taken a follow-up of 28 times before actually getting the investment from the investor. So what kind of mistakes about getting into picture? I think we all we get dependent on him in many constraints apart from the money as well. You'll if he's saying that some things are not right, then you'll have to actually change it. So how do you reduce these dependencies on the investors? And basically, in a nutshell, if I had to ask you, what are the first thing first which we should take care of before approaching any kind of investor?
First thing first, before approaching the investor, there are three things that I am insisting again and again in this entire event. One, polish your skill sets from sales perspective, from development perspective, and from finance management perspective. Now, finance management, I am not talking about an MBA degree. I am not talking about uh, balance sheets or anything. All I'm talking about is manage your resources. This is the money that I'm going to need. Now, in this entire journey, please don't quantify your efforts and then put a hourly tag into it. And this is the investment that I'm going to do. Your efforts cost zero, and that is what you are bringing on the table to develop the product. Okay. So during the initial days, first you'll have to work towards is finding right partners who are willing to pitch in with their efforts. Okay. And this is very tricky. Trust me. Ideally, my recommendation is you find partners who are either in sync, because many partnership gets disastrous in two scenarios. One, when the organization or the entity becomes successful, there is a dispute like who is going to take what, and if he is going to take so much, why I am getting so less. That is the dispute. Second, when it goes in losses, that who is going to pay that loss, why I am going to pay so much and he's not going to pay that much. These are the only two scenarios in which you get disputed. If you could mitigate these two scenarios, find right partners who are willing to pitch in with their efforts. Someone should take up the technology part, someone should take up the sales part and the marketing part. With this combination, you can put up a product, have some prototype in place, have some customers in place, be it free, that's fine. Have those use cases in place and then go for investor. That is where, or have those case studies in place and then you can sell it to bigger entities. Once all of this is in place, you will be able to get the investor. If you don't want to get the investor, you will grow slowly, but you will be out of the investor's dependency.
All right, sir. Sir, one more thing I just like to add. Like you mentioned, you have not actually routed for any kind of investment in your scenario. You had managed everything on your own self. So, with respect to that, sir, if I'm a part of a company wherein we are generating a revenue of somewhere around say 50,000, so is it possible that I could say 50% of annual revenue and even eventually plan for investing in my project itself? How feasible is this, like investing in your project at your own basis? How feasible is this? Like if I want to like in case of product development, there are end to end you'll have to take care of everything. There is the logistics, there is the sales team, and there is basically end to end operations. So if I have to sponsor or fund my own project, how feasible is this thing?
Uh, Piyush, right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Piyush, this is a white elephant, I would say, because you are, and this is a lesson that even I have learned. Never take out money from a growing company and invest into something which does not have a proof of concept. Develop a proof of concept with a sales team backed up. Find people who are willing to put in their efforts, and with that effort, build a product. Don't, my advice is, you single-handedly don't put up your money into a product and then test it with the market, and then eventually make a decision that, hey, this is not working and I have lost all my hard-earned money. So that is what exactly happens with the investors. But then investors are very shrewd in cutting up the positions. They will cut you out in no time, even if the product might have chance of taking up a leap in the market. So this is something that is a very thin line that you have to pass delicately. But if I have to advise, I would say always find partners, reliable partners who are willing to put in efforts in growing the product and be with you in saving this entire cycle. And trust me, partners change. So due diligence of everything has to be done.
Okay, thank you, Sachin sir. We'll take a last question for today. Gajanan sir want to ask you that how to maintain the mental health also in spite of a busy schedule of an entrepreneur.
So, as I've said, these are the four stages through which I have gone: the foundation phase, the beginning phase, the growth phase. And now I am at a very stable phase of my life where my elder son is in 10th, my younger son is in 7th. So they will be completing their journey of graduation in next 6 to 8 years, and I would be off their educational responsibilities. What I'm trying to show or say over here is in this entire phase, I have stick to one thing, that is being connected with my passion of physical fitness. So you have to pick up one thing. If you don't like pick up weights, go ahead and pick up cycle. If you don't like cycle, go ahead and pick up badminton. Create a group. Again, this, if you'd see, I am connecting all the dots after all of these years. Had I not been connected with my friends, I wouldn't have one hobby, which is playing badminton with my friends or playing football on weekend with my friend. That is something that I do. Had I not had a fitness hobby, I wouldn't have gone into yoga and started a diabetes company. Had I not been into physical fitness, I wouldn't have transformed uh, lives in for many individuals. So after all of these years, what I have found is anything which you like, you will do. If someone is forcing these things on you, you won't. So pick up something which will keep you happy, which will keep you engaged. Find individuals who are connected with this kind of hobbies. Get into that group, and then you will be able to stay connected. In spite of all of this, I highly recommend doing yoga. Yoga, I'm not talking about, in yoga, there are three segments of it. One, you say yoga asana, where you do different asanas. Then you have pran sadhana, which is pranayam. And then you have sadhana, which is meditation. So a combination of all of this definitely helps you in being calm, in being now there are many who says meditation helps you remain focused. The reason for it is advised in meditation that you don't focus yourself on unwanted things. So something which has happened in past, you cannot change it. Something which is going to happen in future, you don't have control over it. Something which is right now is your present. Right now means I'm not saying right now. I am saying like today's day, that is still in your control to a larger extent. You know that you have to travel to this place, you have to do these things. You know you have to travel to this place, you have to do this thing. At least you have control to the majority of your day. So think about that day itself. Once you start subconsciously, you give instructions to your mind and brain that you have to do these four things in today's time. And end of the day, again, when you close your eyes, you remember that I had given a thought on these three things and I had completed only these two. So I haven't done 100% productive work of my time. I should be doing better in my other day. So these are the things which I feel will add value to an individual's emotional, physical, and mental stability.
Okay, thank you so much, Sachin, for all the answers for the questions what are asked. Now to move further, I'll request our internship coordinator, Dr. R.N. Edavar sir, to go ahead for vote of thanks.
Thank you, madam. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Dr. R.N. Erawar from Mechanical Engineering Department, and I am here to present the vote of thanks for today's session. My story, motivational session by successful entrepreneur, startup founder. I would like to thank IIC MESCO expert Mr. Sachin Murugunde for enlightening us with their knowledge. Today's session was full of knowledge and interesting things. It gave a deep insight into the topic and also relevant some interesting facts. Mr. Sachin Murugunde enlightening us with his knowledge and sharing his journey of being successful entrepreneur from his student life. It will definitely help to motivate the students. Once again, I would like to thank Sachin Murugunde for taking out time from his busy schedule and enlightening us with his knowledge. Thank you so much, sir. I would like to thank Dr. A.J. Rakesh, sir, Trustee, Modern Education Society, Sampada Doshi, ma'am, CEO, Modern Education Society, and Principal Dr. S.S. Sarel, sir, MES COE, for giving permission to organize this session. Thank you, sir, for assisting and encouraging all of us. I would also like to thank IIMS President Dr. N.F. Sheikh Ma'am, Vice President MP Dale Ma'am, and Convener Dr. A.C. Mitra sir for motivating to organize this session. I would also like to thank Dr. V.N. Pule sir, HOD Mechanical Department, Dr. Yo sir from HOD ANTC Department, Sheikh Ma'am, HOD Com Department, and Dr. B.S. Adkar, HOD FE, for supporting this session. I would like to thank internship activity staff members as well as student members for working closely to mark this session with success. Thank you all. Have a good day.
Thank you, Yeravar sir. Now I'll request everyone, all the teaching staff members and all the dignitaries to start with the camera so that we can have a photo for a session.
Yes.
What sir?
Yes, sir.
What is sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I think I have shared my screen. Will accommodate most of the people.
Sir, use the large gallery. What is sir? Use the large gallery.
Sachin, can you please switch on your camera? Yes. Okay. Thank you.
I have.
Yes, yes. That's okay. Thank you, everyone. You can turn off your camera. Yes, sir.
Govind
So
sir,
that
are
remaining.
we with
Yes.
the photos then?
Yeah, yeah. I have taken the photos of those who can see you.
Sir, take that another photo also. I think all
yes,
are
sir.
not coming the frame.
Yes, yes,
So
sir.
we are stopping the camera now. Others can start the camera, please.
These people have switched off their camera, then other people switch on.
Sachin, you can keep your camera on. We
Yeah.
would need you in each frame, please.
Yeah.
I've switched on.
I cannot see such. Yes, yes. Yes, thank you everyone. I have taken a screenshot. You can switch off your camera. Sachin sir, keep. Yes. Yeah, now remaining people can switch on their camera. Yes, hello. I am requesting the participant just switch on your camera. Yes, thank you everyone. I have taken the screenshot. Yeah. We'll take another one. Yes, thank you everyone. Thank you, Sachin sir.
Should we take one of all the teaching staff or all the staff members of MESCO along with Sachin Murugunde?
Okay, okay. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
So I request all the staff members just to start turn on their camera. Yes, all staff members who are attending, please turn on your camera. Yes, thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Sachin, sir. Yes, I have taken this
Thank
screenshot.
you.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Sachin, thanks a lot for giving us time.
Thank you so much. I hope it was
Informative. It will surely benefit our students. We have started with trying to get this ecosystem of self-employment into the college. We're trying to
I'm really happy that we all are working towards this.
we'll
I
be
strongly believe that job creation is one part of it, but satisfaction that it gives to your own self is also very high.
yes. We'll be disturbing you time and again.
I would love to get disturbed anyways.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
All.
Take care.
1 minute, madam.
Madam, I think you should announce that feedback forms.
Yeah. Yes,
Yes,
sir.
yes,
Mitra,
sir.
sir.
Yes.
All attendees are requested to fill up the feedback form. Feedback form is shared in the WhatsApp group.
Yes, it is
Can we
Attendees
already
share
are.
shared,
yours as
sir.
well?
Yeah. Yes.
So I think
I'll
It is
request
shared
all
in
the.
chat box.
by 6
Yeah,
o'clock it will be closed now, sir.
Yes, sir. It is by 6 o'clock. It will close.
yeah, I'll request all the teaching staffs to fill up the feedback form. The link will be shared by Yeravar sir in the chat box, and we already shared the link for students into the WhatsApp group. Okay. Thank you so much, Sachin sir, for your guidance, and I'll thank all the members of ISC MESCO, Sheikh ma'am, Mitra sir, I ma'am, and all the teaching staff. And I announce the end of the session for this webinar. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Take care. Have a good
Thank
day, everyone.
yeah. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Sachin. Thank you all the teachers for joining in.
Yeah, the link is there into the chat box. Everyone can start filling up. So, Sheikh ma'am, should we stop with the meeting?
Yes, let's wait for 5 minutes. If people have any
Okay,
problems in
ma'am.
filling up the feedback, we can sort out those problems. Otherwise, we can stop
Yeah.
after that.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
On the